Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Maggie, and me and my brother used to be professional MCAT tutors, and now we do this channel and go to medical school. Normally on our channel, things are really geared towards the MCAT. If you look on our channel, we do like a ton of passage breakdowns. That's kind of our thing, teaching the high yield sciences, stuff like that. But today I wanted to do kind of a different video, one that's I think going to be really close to a lot of people's hearts. I wanted to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. If you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's been in the media for like several years now. It's known as a psychological occurrence in which an individual doubts their skills, talents, or accomplishment and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. I like to think of it as thinking that everyone around you is doing way better than you all the time, even if they're not. Imposter syndrome, I think, kind of circulates around this anxiety of like a fear of failure, or a fear of like not doing as well as you feel like you should be doing. And I deal with it horribly. But when I was kind of like doing a little bit of research on this topic and listening to videos and podcasts and things about this to kind of prepare to make this video, I realized that it is extremely common, like much more common than I thought. And the thing that I kept coming back to is that whether or not you have imposter syndrome is not reflective at all of your ability. I mean, there were stories of like Maya Angelou saying that she was afraid she was going to, like, people were going to find out that she was actually not a good writer at all. And I think that I want to set expectations for this video. I am not going to tell you how to overcome imposter syndrome, because if I knew how to do that, then I would do it. I'm mainly just telling you that, like, you're not alone, and maybe also pointing out some things about imposter syndrome that I have found that are actually kind of good, or I'm finding the silver lining here, but you get it. I feel like imposter syndrome kind of bleeds into all aspects of my life. I feel that way for medical school. I felt that way when I was studying for the MCAT. I constantly thought everyone was studying more and better than me and was doing better than me. And I even have it about this channel. I thought, there's no way I'm qualified to make a video about imposter syndrome. And then I was like, that is literally imposter syndrome. You can even ask John. I'm probably so annoying because I constantly tell him, I'm like, I don't think I'm qualified to make that video. And he's like, you absolutely are. You're good. Just do it, please. So something I've figured out over the course of having this anxiety about things over the past several years is that our brains are not our best friends sometimes. When my brain tells me that everyone else in my school is doing better than me, that's a lie. I have no evidence to say that other people that everyone in the school is doing better than me. There are people that are doing better than me, but I don't know who they are, and it doesn't serve me to look at it that way. I think if you have imposter syndrome, it's like a cycle that you go through. There's like anxiety about something that you have to do or something that you are currently doing. And so you prepare for it. And then when it actually comes along, whether you do well or not, you have this brief sense of like, okay, well, it's over. And then if you do perform well, you have this rationalization of, oh, well, I was just lucky, or they just put the questions on the test that I knew about. I'm not actually smart. And I think if you don't like deal with imposter syndrome, first off, like, you're so lucky. But second off, like, these thought patterns sound really irrational to you, and that's because they are. So basically, if you are watching this video and you feel like this about MCAT studying or school or life or your job, you are not alone. There are high achieving people out there who feel exactly like you do. And it is not reflective of their ability, and so it's not reflective of yours either. The only thing that I have found that kind of has helped me with this feeling of anxiety and this feeling of like everyone's doing better than me is surrounding myself with people who are honest about their struggles too. When I surround myself with other students that are just bragging about how they only studied 4 hours a day and then made a 95 on the test. One, they're lying. They're lying. And two, those kind of people just make the anxiety that I experience so much worse. And so you've got to surround yourself by people who are honest with you, people that are humble, and people that will say, yeah, that is hard. I am also struggling with that concept or whatever it is. You've just got to surround yourself with good people. That is the only thing I've found that has helped at all. I did want to talk a little bit about some things that I found about imposter syndrome that are positive, question mark. One, this is something that I found out when I was studying for the MCAT. Imposter syndrome made me work a lot harder. It was a very good motivator to constantly feel like everyone was doing better than me. For instance, like when I studied for the MCAT, it took like 6 or 8 months or something like that. I don't really remember. 6 months, 6, 7, something like that. And I felt like after I got through that process, I looked back on it and I was like, I didn't study that much. Like I could have studied more. And my roommate was like, you studied all the time. Like you missed social events. You stayed up late at night. You got up early. Like you were studying all the time. What are you talking about? And I guess that kind of objective, third party looking in on it, that unbiased opinion that my roommate gave me was definitely like a wake up call. That's when I first realized like, oh, I do not have the best view of what I am currently doing. Like my view is extremely biased. But looking back, I can appreciate that feeling of I'm not doing enough did make me do more. This is like a very like cynical way to look at it, and I would not recommend if you find a way to like fix your imposter syndrome. I'm not saying like keep it because it's good for you. It's not good for you as a rule. I'm just trying to say if you're like me and it's something that is going to take a lot more work and a lot more time to get over, you can start to look at the bright side. It is a good motivator to work hard. And something that I have found in medical school is that imposter syndrome keeps you humble. And that is a quality that is very important to me now, like in my current relationships, and that will be very important to me whenever I'm a doctor. There's nothing worse than an egotistical doctor. And you meet people along the way and you're like, I know that they're going to be an egotistical doctor, and you get worried about their future colleagues. But having this feeling that everyone's doing better than you is a real ego breaker. It does keep you humble. The thing is that it can go too far in that direction, and it can actually make you feel bad about yourself. And that's when I say come back to that social support group that you have created for yourself. Those people who are honest that it is also hard for them, and that they also feel like other people are doing better than them. I have sticky notes on my mirror. When I come across a quote that resonates with me or that makes me feel better or that is something that I feel like I need to hear at certain points in my life, I'll put that baby on a sticky note and put it on my mirror. I don't care. I know that's really cheesy. But all of my sticky notes kind of paint this picture of feeling like I'm not doing well enough, which again is completely unfounded. It is all in my head. I'm lying to myself. But they are sticky notes. Like one of them says something about how my performance does not equal my worth. There's one about how this process is a journey. I'm not trying to get to a destination. I need to enjoy the process. And being in medical school and being able to learn the things that I've been wanting to learn for years is a privilege. I think that the main thing that I've learned over the course of the past couple years, but especially the last 8 or so months that I've been in medical school, is that you cannot keep your head down and constantly think that you're doing bad and you just need to bury your nose in a book, because you will lose sight of that privilege of being able to be there in that moment and to learn. And it doesn't feel like that. And it's easier to say I just had a test yesterday. It's easy to say this. You asked me 2 nights ago, I probably would have been like, this sucks and I hate it. So it waxes and wanes, but I wanted to get on here and make this video to let you guys know that you're not alone in this, and that there is a giant community of people who feel the same way as you do. It's not reflective of their performance or their worth, and so it's not reflective of yours either. If you guys have any tips for me or for other students who are feeling this way, drop a comment below. I would love to get some more feedback on this topic. But I haven't found a good way to really overcome it. I think it's just something that you learn to deal with, and that you find those little good parts about it, that it keeps you humble and it makes you work hard. And you just have to know that sometimes our brains do not tell us things that are helping us. Sometimes our brains, for some reason, just create this anxiety in us. And sometimes it takes your roommate telling you that you actually are studying all the time and that other people are not studying more than you. Or it takes your group of friends to say, yeah, no, this actually is hard. Not everyone thinks that this is easy. You're not the only one who is struggling with this. Sometimes it takes that to like recenter yourself, but it is worth it to recenter yourself. Sometimes it's a sticky note on the mirror that recenters you. If you guys like this video, then you will love our new ebook on how to overcome imposter syndrome. I'm just messing with you. I would love an ebook on how to overcome imposter syndrome. Maybe that's something on the horizon. Probably not. But okay, guys, I think this was a different video. I'm sorry if you didn't like it, but let us know down in the comments what you do want to see. Make sure to like this video and hit subscribe to see more stuff like this. I'll see you on the next one.